Outland Exile by Walter Clark Boutwell. Malila used her new glass knife to cut herself free from her bonds. As she crept near the bole of a large dead tree, she realized that the Unity patrols would search at night. She was very nearly home. She moved out from behind the tree trunk. The lights were just meters away, silhouetted twin serpentine stalks, twisting and writhing above her in a complicated dance, a light surmounting each stalk like an eye. Turned down to inspect the ground, she could no longer breathe. The stench of ammonia hit her. Her eyes watered and her vision started to fade. She retched as the yellow lights halted and advanced toward her, emitting a scritching noise. The blow took her just below the ribcage. An arm snaked around her waist and began to drag her off. Dazed, she was surprised the yellow eyes began to fade in the night before the dead tree trunk blocked her view. A dark shape stood her up, pressing her against the rough bark. The form stooped and put an arm between her legs before painfully grabbing her wrist and hoisting her. Malila's world spun as she was turned upside down and bounced on the old man's shoulder back to their fire. Jessie dropped her with a thump onto the skins before turning on her. "Lil miss, I just want a little privacy, got mare." Then she was bargained for, singing slight, "You damned Unigok, now I've got to burn out a death walker. The thing is gonna stink for days." "What exactly were you thinking, lass?" he shouted. When she didn't respond, the old man frisked her rapidly before tying her up. He built up the fire and transferred red coals onto a makeshift shovel made from tree bark before starting back down the path from which they just came. Sundering screams punctuated the darkness. Strange cries rent the night and subsided into groaning agues of noise. Jessie returned to stoke the fire with fresh fuel, shoveled more coals out, and again disappeared into the dark. By the sounds, the old man was getting the worst of it before the creature's cries started to move off. The stench of smoke and ammonia sullied the air.